On the screen behind me, you can see the INDIA Alliance's 28 members. The INDIA is set to have a meeting today. This is the coordination meeting. Representatives from 14 different parties of that 28 are going to be coming together in New Delhi at Sharad Pawar's home, the NCP president's home. They're going to be discussing the crucial elephant in the room so far. How are seats going to get distributed? That conversation is finally going to take place. Remember, they've already met in Bengaluru, in Patna. Now they're going to be meeting in Delhi. They also met in Mumbai last. The big question, even in those meetings, had been what happens with the seat sharing, with the TMC, in fact, leaving quite frustrated that had not yet been discussed. That is number one on the agenda today. Remember, in the Mumbai meeting that had just taken place, what the parties had said is that they would work together to the degree that they could. So as far it was possible, they would have a common leader on the seats. What does that effectively actually mean? We'll have more clarity after this meeting. I'll wait for my colleague Shireen to be patched through. But these are the details that we have from the INDIA sources. So, number one, seat sharing is going to take place. But number two, the other thing that we are receiving information about is that some kind of campaigning schedule will also be decided. It has been discussed that they will be taking place. There will be multiple campaign stops taking place in different parts of the country. Each stop will be focused around a different agenda point, alleviating poverty, fighting corruption, etc. Now my colleague Pallavi is with us to start the day, to lay out the context of this meeting. Let's go over to her. Pallavi, good morning. Could you tell our audiences, A, who are the leaders who are expected to meet? Number one. Number two, we know there's no TMC presence expected because Abhishek Banerjee is actually going to the ED possibly today. Can you tell our audiences, how will the seat sharing conversation actually take place? It is the biggest hurdle. What is the plan to actually get through it?
So today is just a coordination committee meeting, which is the main meeting committee which has been set up. And the task of this committee is essentially to decide on the tricky issues. It is in a sense headed by Sharad Pawar. It's at Mr. Pawar's residence, which just goes on to show that even the members of the India Front understand that you need someone who's senior, who's veteran, to bring many of the different point of view together. Others present, of course, barring Abhishek Banerjee, who's a part of the Trinamool Congress. In fact, as we reported yesterday, Toya, no one from the TMC is going to be present there today, only because they want to make a point to both the ED as well as to the BJP that this is an issue which is going to be made repeatedly by us. Political witch hunt, specifically targeting the opposition parties, knowing very well that today is a meeting of the coordination committee, yet an ED summon has been given to Abhishek Banerjee. KC Venugopal, D. Raja, all of them are the other members who are going to be present there. And you're absolutely right, Toya. The most difficult issue is going to be seat sharing. The first step is going to be taken towards that. In fact, if we remember, which is what we had reported earlier as well, in the Mumbai meeting, leaders like Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, Nitish Kumar, all of them were a little upset because they wanted a timeline, a date to be fixed by when the seat sharing talks will be over. They said we just don't have enough of time. Elections are going to be taking place in March, April. We need to decide ASAP. That timeline was not given. It's a part of the resolution, so it was not made official. So I think today we are going to see that first step taken to ensure that a timeline is given as to when the seat sharing talks take place. Yes, the tricky areas are TMC versus Congress and AAP versus Congress particularly.
Okay, Pallavi, can I just ask you to stay with us? Our colleague Shireen is also with us to bring us specific details that we already do know about the seat sharing. Can you just tell our audiences, Shireen, Pallavi was highlighting just how difficult this is possibly going to be, but we do have some details of a brief outline of sorts as to how the opposition parties plan to go about this. I believe you have those details. For example, the number of seats that they want to share, that they want to have common candidates on. That's the detail that you can share with us. Could you bring us more details in that sense?
Yes, Toya, the discussion, of course, on priority is going to be on seat sharing because as far as the campaigns and rallies are concerned, there's already a campaign committee. The first round of the campaign committee meeting took place last week. And the sources within the campaign committee have been suggesting that the convener meeting today is going to be very crucial because now that the discussion on seat sharing is going to happen, it will in fact also be decided whether there are going to be rallies and public meetings for the assembly elections, for the 5 states that are going into assembly elections, and also for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Now, what the sources within the convener committee meeting has also been telling us is that the outline is going to be something that will be decided. But as far as the discussion is concerned, all the state party units are going to decide what are the seats that could be given up for seat sharing, how can the process be done. An outline on what the discussion should be like is something that is going to be decided. Apart from that, the move as of now is to in fact field a general candidate in about 440 seats in Lok Sabha elections. So half of the candidates are going to be decided by the next month, by the end of next month is what we are told. So by the next month, around 220 seats, the candidates that are going to be fielded is something that will be decided. And they are also, in fact, telling us that the common candidate will be fielded in states where the BJP is ruling or is the main opposition. So this is the strategy that is going to be done by the convener committee meeting. Today is going to be an outline that how the discussion should go on. But of course, it's a very tricky situation because as far as the Aam Aadmi Party, TMC and Congress are concerned, how much will the entire process of seat sharing is going to be a smooth process is something that we have to wait and watch for. But an outline will in fact be decided, and by next month, end of next month, around 220 candidates will be decided by India Alliance is what the sources have been telling us.
Okay, Shireen, I'll ask you to stay with us.